might, swap on.
Absolutely shredded this guy.
Oh,
Not having any nades.
Shredded him.
Are they inside?
Yeah, they're inside, dude.
118 on 1. 118 on 1.
Phoenix. I got my ult. I can push him out. Oh, they're right here. He just downed me. Just sit here. I'm gonna res myself. Yeah. I'm gonna res myself. Just watch the door. Watch the door.
Knocked one, knocked one, knocked one.
Almost up.
Knocked another. What's going on, everybody? My name is Absenccee and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to sort of give some tips on how to get better aim in Apex Legends. I know this has been done all the time, but my aim has been improving like crazy lately, and I just wanted to sort of share how I did that. I know with how many times this type of video has been done, it may get a little boring or feel the same, but in every single video there's going to be something slightly different, somebody's opinion that's going to be slightly different that just might help you. So even when I'm watching tips and tricks videos for any sort of video game, or even anything that isn't a video game, any sort of tips and tricks, I always watch as much of it as I can, because everybody's going to have something that is slightly new, slightly different, that could possibly change your view or outlook on it. So this is going to be 5 tips on how to get better aim in Apex Legends. So tip 1 is use one and only one sensitivity. And I know everybody always talks about this in every single sensitivity or aim video, but this is so important. And I know that people can change their sensitivity all the time, and you can get used to it. You can get your muscle memory kind of tuned to that different sensitivity, and you can change it all the time. I know a lot of people who do change it pretty much daily just because they're not feeling the sensitivity that they were feeling yesterday. But you have to pick one sensitivity to stick with. This is something that I did actually this season. I was always that kind of guy that would constantly change their sensitivity, and I would make it slightly higher and be like, all right, now I'll be able to pull these 360s. Now I'll be able to 180 on people. Now I'm going to be able to have the sort of aim movement that I want. And then say a week or so later, I would go back down to a different, slower sensitivity and be like, oh, well, now I'll be able to actually aim. Now I'll be able to hit my shots. And I would just bounce back and forth between that, but that's not what you need to do. And since I started sticking with the same sensitivity, my aim has been improving almost exponentially. I don't want to say exponentially, but it has been improving quite a bit in just this season. And I use the same sensitivity in every single game. So Apex Legends is the one game that I found my sensitivity that I want to stick with. And I'm very serious when I want to say that I want to stick with this sensitivity. I think I found a very good sensitivity, and to do this with every single game, I use a website called mousesensitivity.com. The link will be down in the description if you want to go check it out. But I use that just to stay as consistent as possible in every single game. And it may take a long time to find the sense that you like the most and feel the most comfortable with, but it is going to be worth it. It's not gonna come overnight. It is definitely going to take some time. But once you find that sensitivity, then the real practice can start. And I just want to keep this brief, but to find your sensitivity, just go into Apex Legends. And I'd say for controller players, you probably want to keep a slow to medium sensitivity. You could definitely get away with a little bit of a higher sensitivity just because of that aim assist slowdown. And I'm not saying aim assist is overpowered at all, but aim assist definitely will help slow down your aim, so you can get away with a little bit of a higher sensitivity with controller players. But controller is a little bit more difficult. You just want to be as comfortable as possible with it. And for keyboard and mouse players, you definitely want to have a sensitivity you can at least pull a 180 on. I usually like to be able to 360 with the mousepad space that I have. But those are just some quick tips for your sensitivity. I know a lot of people talk about that, so I don't want to go too in depth. But if you want to see a video on how exactly I found my sensitivity, then definitely leave a comment down below asking me for it, and I definitely will. So tip number 2 is to learn the recoil of each gun. I know this is talked about a lot too, even in other games, not counting Apex Legends, but each gun has a very predictable recoil pattern. To do this before you start your play session every day or every time you play, just take the weapon you want to learn. Like me, I usually like to go with either the Havoc or the Flatline. Sometimes I'll go with the Devotion just because it does have a lot of recoil. And the R99. And I will just go to one of the rocks, one of the flat walls that doesn't have any obstructions. And I would just spray the full magazine into the wall. And you can even put a gold magazine on there, a purple or a gold magazine on the weapon, just to have some more ammo to spray. But you want to spray the full magazine into the wall without touching your aim, and just study the recoil pattern. And there's a lot of small little holes and divots in the rocks. Usually what I like to do is spray it into the hole, try to keep all my bullets right in the hole. Another way is to just shoot the targets that are really far away. That's a great way. And just pick up like a gold backpack and 300 rounds of ammo and just sit there and use all of your ammo just trying to control the recoil. Before we get into the next tip, if you're enjoying the video and want to see more videos like this, more tips and tricks videos, then I would greatly appreciate a subscribe, a like, and a comment down below telling me exactly what you want to work on, and I could definitely think about making a video on it. I also stream on twitch.tv. The link will be down in the description, so if you want to come by and say hi while I'm streaming, then definitely do that. And a follow would also be appreciated over there. Also, before I move on, I will be live streaming actually while this video is up. So if you want to drop by really quick, that would be appreciated as well. All right, let's get into the next tip. Tip number 3 is to learn to hip fire well. Hip firing is absolutely huge for a lot of those close range fights in this game. And I'm always blown away by how many shots I hip firing, and it ends up winning me so many gunfights by just being that much quicker reacting to those gunfights. And all you have to do to get into the habit of hip firing and practicing it is also in the firing range, just like the last tip. You can do it at the same time. Just hip fire the dummies, even while you're strafing around. Just feel out for yourself how the hip fire works, how the spray pattern works, if you don't already. So tip number 4 is to drop hot, and this is another tip that a lot of people put in their videos, but this one is so important. This is not something you need to be doing constantly, but just drop hot enough. This is something that I have definitely done, and I know I have seen a lot of improvement from. You can drop at the very first drop spot some games, other games go for the hot zone, and if you want to take a break from that, or are getting tired of it or too tilted, go back to your regular drop spot and cool off for a bit. But always make sure to go back to dropping hot. But this can also help with early game fighting, gunfights in general, positioning, getting third party, dealing with the chaos of dropping hot, and learning to play under pressure. And it's okay if you die off spawn or don't get any kills at all. All you have to do is then queue up and go again as long as you're not tilted. And keep queuing again and again and again. Just don't give up on it. So moving into the final tip, tip number 5. Learn better movement. Movement plays so much of a role into your aim and taking less damage in gunfights in general. This goes much further than aiming, but having good movement, especially in close range fights, where that hipfire comes in real handy. ADSing in Apex greatly reduces your strafing speed, and hipfire fixes that. Coupled with having great hipfire accuracy, this combo is absolutely deadly, and you see it all the time where players just can't hit a single shot, even though their enemy is directly in front of them, but they're just strafing back and forth at what seems like light speed. They just cannot hit a single shot. And that movement right there is what wins them that gunfight, that movement alone. So that is going to be all 5 tips I hope you at least learned one thing from this video. Again, I'm going to be live streaming while this video goes up, so if you're interested at all in watching some Apex Legends, asking me some questions at all, then that would be greatly appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, comment down below other questions that you have, and I will definitely reply to you as quick as I can. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.